Welcome to the Self Help Empowerment Lifestyle Podcast. This is Lance William Green. I am the CEO of LWG Corporations. I'm also the published author of 9 books and a business owner myself. So today I'm going to go out and I'm going to walk around a little bit here. And I did talk to a guy named Belavar. He's a friend of mine, and he wanted to talk to me about some of his college classes and some of the self-help things. And he read some of my books, so he was going to talk to me about some of my books and some of his business thoughts and ideas. So I'm going to go meet up with him. And, I wanted to give him an opportunity to be on the podcast. He said he wanted to do it. So I was like, well, come on, let's go do it. So did run into him. And so here's what he had to say.
The biggest takeaway for self in reading your material was the opening, chapter 1, right? You spoke about the vision, the ideas, and dreams, right? That landed in a lot of different ways because as the person leading the brand, whatever it's going to be, it's the vision I'm holding for myself that what it becomes, right? You said those things having it. You can invest in any technology you want or any arena you want, not technology, any arena you want. And from that point, it's on you how prosperous your company is, right? It can be something that's, again, if I'm going to sell, I'm become a producer that makes items that go directly to people who sell items and are a major vendor producer for ice creams, right? I know my end product ends up inside of ice cream trucks, grocery markets, or different places where families pick up produce from. So in ways that I go through this process, I'm still evaluating, do I go for the larger cost items, right? Where I make myself the premium object that everybody strives to have and as a statement piece to have in their home, or to make something that's convenient so that anybody can purchase my product. And I'm going back and forth between where's in my analysis, where's the value set lying in, right? Which is the bigger pull for me? Is it the profits I'm shooting for? Where I want to have this thing, I'm okay with selling a smaller amount, but I know the benefit for me, you said later on, and the cost I'm paying for these things is my quality cannot be matched, right? Whereas the guy who's selling chill out ice creams, well, those are, compared to a dime a dozen, right? So he's making more rapid sales than I am. However, I know the people who are buying my product value, or tied in back to what you said earlier, their ideas and dreams match what I have, that we have a similar goal for things, not just take what's given to us, but strive for things that are high and push ourselves further. And that goes back into the whole concept you had about building into the corporate culture, that the people I'm around should know those things, right? That we are back to the same page and want the same things. Otherwise, it turns into something else. And then said before, I want to add also from the part that you were speaking on the cost of leadership. It's understanding that the SWOT analysis, basically, which we're breaking down, right? So strength, weaknesses, breaking those down, opportunities, right? And what's our threats, right? We have those within our business model because we understood those before we launched the business itself. We did our business plans and the likes, followed those structures, got ourselves started. What I think is skipped a lot of times is not fully grasping the total cost of leadership. The fact that I'm spending these 60 hours a week to start this, or 80 hours a week to start my business off, to work for myself, rather than going accepting 85% of the pay I expect for myself, right, to work for you for 40 hours a week. That's the cost on that in and of itself is in my familiar relationships and other interpersonal relationships. Because again, I'm not spending that quality time with the people whose love language is that. I'm not providing the physical touch or the words of affirmation, right? I can do gifts here and there, right, because I'll have the better money for it, right? Yeah. But it's remember for yourself what love language you're costing your party by not showing up at your optimum self in all aspects. And then also the thing of, if your team comprehends the sacrifices you're making from the beginning, right, it balances itself back out. If you and I are in a relationship and I tell you from the gate, here's my vision, right, here's what I'm going to do, I plan to do this for the next 5 years, and you are Mackenzie Scott, you stick with me through it all. Even when I expect for the next 10 years for my business not to do well at all, to barely get by, you were the person financing me the whole way through to keep us just afloat, right? You working extra shifts, pulling in extra work, selling stuff, keep your business afloat because you believe in my dream as much as I do, if not more so, right? And it's, again, you and I discussed before, it's remembering the overall cost, that it's not just the business that's going to be worked on, it's also the interpersonal relationships that we have to remember are a part of our business, right? Because if you're owning a business and doing everything, you're becoming super successful. If you become a billionaire overnight, what benefit did you really get, right? Because if you're still a stank person on the inside, right, what did you do it for? Just to have money, so you can get money? Then now it becomes, how much is enough, right? So it's time, we said before, time back into all those different steps of not just in my analysis of what my business is, but what's it actually going to cost me in my life? Because I'm spending the foreseeable future tied to this project, right? Unless I have like part of my exit plan.
One of the things is that when I was talking about a vision, is like when I was writing my books at first, I was envisioning me in a brand new nice motorhome, and I worked towards that. But what you were saying about taking care of employees and everything, and being with your family. Well, the whole idea is using the structure of my books and my workbooks is just take your idea and turn it into a company and then to a corporation, and then have other people take it over and start running it, and then you're starting other corporations, and so they're running the corporation. So you can make a lot of money, you know what I mean? But you're lifting everyone up together.
Right.
I guess because of my drug and alcohol, anger management, domestic violence, denial management type of books, and self-help, ending any self-inflicted addictions and problems, you would bring into how you treat your employees, and where they benefit too, as the company grows. Yeah.
That was a conversation. You mind? So, just a quote. Seeing yourself, right? You were saying, being your own boss requires a wide range of abilities, many of which you will need it to start. Take time to identify the realized skills you know you have, plus other talents that you could develop that will be useful for the business. Also consider the skills of friends and family that may be useful and that they offer to you. But be aware of involving family in your business, because it's a lot harder to fire family and can cause major family issues when there are lots of problems. I myself don't recommend it. So you were saying that look at the abilities, look at your abilities, the ideas, or in areas of weakness also, right? And think of positive, creative ways that you can learn to use to overcome them. Lots of people just have this idea, this vision, or dreams, and have to hire others to make them into reality. Running a business is a long-term commitment, right? So working in a business that you really like is important. You also spoke later on in that chapter speaking about follow through, right?
And that was from Self-Help Business Empowerment Lifestyle, right?
Yes.
So,
thank you. In that I said the same we spoke before, was that being able to determine not only my skill set, right? We spoke about this on a private. We're creating culture, right? So it's not just what I want and what you want, it's what the 10, 15 people within our inner circle are all connected on, right? What do we all vision the world to be? If we're at the simple low-hanging fruit of, I want a better world, what does that mean to you, right? And we can have those determined conversations.
You know what? That is in my corporate builder's guide that goes with Self-Help Business Empowerment Lifestyle that I will be publishing. And it goes through all that about legacy building and community building.
Yes.
And like who you will leave the company to, and what you want your legacy to be of the corporation. Who did you help? So I have that coming out soon.
Right. That's very helpful, right? Because again, like you discussed with me before, was identifying. So addiction is different for me because there wasn't a lot of spaces to get drug dealers anonymous, right? There's two sides of the substance abuse coin.
Yeah.
Right. You're used to the feel and the escapism and the likes. I'm used to what it provides. Right. I can make a considerably larger income than the common taxpayer does off of a smaller investment. Right. On the face of it. What I'm not recognizing in the addiction of it all is it's actually a much larger investment what the normal person has, and it's costing me a lot more. right? Number one, my time, right? Because the things go not just if, when the process of drug dealing is overextended, uh, you will fall, right? It can be for 6 months, it can be for a year, it can be with enough product, you can spend an entire lifetime incarcerated, right? So the time that you spent on the shelf can be gone in one of two ways. It can be invested into things to make yourself an improved person, right? To recognize, even on this side of the coin, I'm still addicted, right? I still see these ways as ways to move. I still think this is okay. I'm still permitting myself to act in those ways. Or do I get around the process of people, right, that can help me help myself? Find the people I can be vulnerable to, express the things I'm dealing with, and when I'm struggling, not just the things I'm showing and I'm shining and doing good, but when I stumble, who will help me get back on path?
Well, when did you decide that you were going to stop selling or using drugs, and how did you stop? What was in your mind that clicked that just said, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you want to do something better? When did that happen?
That was years of work, right? So the original process was, I'm just tired of getting involved with the whole cycle that comes with it, right? You sell for a while, get away with it, make money, and then eventually you get cuffs put on you behind the sales, right?
Yeah.
Now that's lost income, that's lost time. I just
Well,
got tired of that loop.
you know what I found is, selling drugs and things. Well, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting people around you, but you can't make that much selling drugs. It's not worth it once you get caught.
No.
If like my self-help empowerment lifestyle book and my self-help business empowerment lifestyle, it would teach you how to take your idea or thought where you can make millions, maybe even billions. You could start corporations and things, and way beyond selling drugs,
Right.
any of that, and not get in trouble. And you can lift up all your family and everyone around you. You can provide help to people by hiring them. There's many things. That's one of the reasons that drugs, alcohol, all that, I realized that was just holding me back. And I have found it's kind of, in the bigger scheme of things, drugs and alcohol is kind of to keep people, I would say, I dare say it, stupid, so they stay in the workforce and they don't follow through with their ideas and things. It keeps them in a loop of just working at McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken or wherever, or the car wash or whatever, instead where they could end up inventing things and owning businesses and corporations.
Right.
That's one of the things I decided is I'm sick of holding myself back, and I want to do something more with my life than look for my next hit of drugs or my next drink. And I discovered that is just holding me back, and that how can I really run a corporation if I'm drinking or doing drugs or any of that? And plus it's against the law, so that you throw in all that, it's not really because worth it very much. So I moved on to building businesses and writing books and corporations.
That's what got me into like going wholehearted into college, right?
Yeah. And what courses are you taking in college?
So I'm on a path for sociology right now, just because it helps me understand, if not the entire world a little better, it's to see where aspects of you, where I used to say I didn't like that person for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like you. I don't like what you showed me about myself. Right? So understanding different framework have given me a better space to work from and to recognize more and more so the commonalities between myself and other people, right?
That's what sociology is?
No, that's where I'm picking up from. Right?
Okay.
It's giving frameworks for how we as cultures bleed over and influence one another, right? That there's certain tendencies to begin from one smaller culture and it spread. That was through anthropology, right? It just goes through the whole process of how cultures develop and over time how they shift and adapt, right? Because it's not about the fittest person in the scene, it's about the most adaptable, right? If you can't adapt to a change, you and your culture will die off. Ask the Neanderthals, right?
Yeah.
When you're able to adapt to what's not what was or how things used to be, you can see not only what is, right? And your conversation from earlier, my vision can also see around the corner to know in 10 years' time, these are the things I want to be prepared for, right? Because here's the trends are starting to do this, and this. How can I be most healthy in a decade from now instead of worried about tomorrow's bills?
You know what? My workbook, my self-help empowerment lifestyle, business empowerment lifestyle workbook has that in there. Where do you see your company, or where do you see your life in 10 years, 5 years, 50 years, 100 years? Like, where is the corporation going to go? That's really interesting that you say that, because it's part of building your business plan and,
Yes.
working toward your goals.
Right.
All
And
right.
if
All
and
right.
if not if when when leadership hasn't taken those aspects into account, also we said before, what are the biggest threats, right? So in cultural conversation, we ask about what's your shadow look like, right? As a leader, what things do you tend to do when tired, when frustrated, when hungry, or a distraction shows up? What do you go to cover that up and keep pushing through the fight? Or do you recognize to team members, hey, I'm a little tired, give me a 15-minute power nap, we'll go back to this discussion,
All right.
which is healthier, right? Because you can just muscle through it. Yeah, you'll end up cussing somebody out, and that'll be HR problem in 6 months, right? Or express to the team, I think 15-minute power nap, I'm good. We're gonna have this conversation, right?
Well, give yourself time to think and then figure out what you're going to do and come up with a plan.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I used in my other book for the dealing with drugs or anger.
Right.
Like, you get angry at somebody, count to 10 and think, or do positive breathing and
Yes.
breathe so you can think instead of responding in anger or any other emotion, making the decision.
Right.
Yeah, that's a smarter thing to do.
Yeah.
Walk away from the situation, then come back when your head is clear. Yeah.
And set time back in when you asked your earlier question to me. My reason for even starting to sell drugs in my childhood, right, was I did not comprehend what values I was compromising, right? I saw the kids around me who were selling drugs ahead of me had money, while I saw the kids I was near that were working 9 to 5 jobs were working 2 and 3 weeks at a time, because the first week you got to work, and by the time you get to the next pay cycle, whatever it worked with, right?
Yeah.
That first check did not look what they expected it to be, right? Again, my short-sightedness wasn't grasping that the same guy who started off working for Sonic and the like, right, now owns 2, right? With the 20-year investment, he owns 2 himself, but he's worked from the very bottom, right? Mopping floors and doing stocks and chopping, right? He did all the grunt work, and over time stayed with the process, and now he's his own, right? That's his contribution back into the corporate world. Become a franchisee again, because he had a long vision for it. There's an idea he had. I want to work. I want to do something, and along the way, found him the way. Not only the way, the only
Followed through with what he was doing. Yeah.
Yes,
All
to
right.
follow through. So again, for self, because I didn't comprehend just on my own shortcoming, I didn't have the patience he had, right? Or didn't have those conversations to comprehend all the information. I didn't work with the same information pool that he had, right? To see that, hey, it's not about today. It's not about these small checks. Yeah, this is how they feed us in the beginning, but the goal is to work your way up the corporate structure to be able to get your own franchise. And if not this franchise, then you start your own business with the information you learn by getting it wrong in this business, where it doesn't cost you as much, right? Because example, if I'm working at fast food chain X, right, and I get an order wrong, it didn't cost me personally that amount of dollars, that $20 for the or $2 for the whole meal at cost to the shop. It was it's tossed, right? Whereas if I do that and I'm independent person making my own burger shop, and I do that, I have to eat that cost.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Well, it's your overhead.
right. So it's counting into those things.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, the corporate structure is a little more padding to it than it is for those who are doing the mom and pop, right? The indies. So it's again having the knowledge of, and then also what you've been shown before, which I'm grateful for, is at least speaking to a culture outside of your own and giving people the opportunity to at least expand themselves, right? That you're promoting the books, you're helping guys get better, not just for the sake of the profit, because that's what's going to come. It's also developing culture worldwide, because you're not the only one developing your culture by yourself. You're helping other people develop their world, right? That's just from person to person, I think that's beautiful. So I wanted to give you your flowers now and say thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Right. So yeah, you said it's been a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I like to offer other people opportunity.
Right.
But it's also part of promoting my books too. But
Right.
I like to have different people. Their different views.
Right.
I'm trying to do that. Yeah.
Always best for the culture.
All right.
Yeah, thank you again for the opportunity, my man.
All right, then. I guess that's all Belabar wants to say, isn't it? All right, then. Cool. All right, then. Thank you.
We're back for episode 26.
All right, that was pretty cool that Belabar came and talked to us. So, all right, then. I'm going to start talking more about business and about my books. I am still going to go around and find some people that want to do the music, and then I am going to start singing some songs. I have a couple friends, and I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be putting more music on here that I create too. So I'm going to go walk around tomorrow, I think, and interview a couple more people. I still have some guys lined up. I'm just waiting for them to take time off of their college or whatever else they're doing and come and talk to me. I do plan on doing some other things. I do want to focus more in on my books and what's in them and start doing maybe a seminar for everyone here where you could tune in, you can hear my business tips and things. I think that I could train a few people to maybe really get going in business or even cure themselves of their self-inflicted addictions and problems. So all of the things in my books I'm using or have used to cure myself and to start businesses and to really motivate myself and see opportunities, look for and see positive opportunities, and also use positive words, thoughts, actions, and use the universal laws of attraction and, make the things that I want happen. There's a lot that I can share with you all. I'm trying to make this podcast the best I can. Sometimes it gets chopped up, and sometimes I have to go out and meet people outside and talk to them, and sometimes they're unavailable or, other things are going on. I don't have my own little studio yet. I'm working on it. I'm working on better equipment. Just trying to do the best I can and take advantage of all positive opportunities that I can, but I'm starting to find that I have a lot more positive opportunities available to me, so I'm having to try to sort through the best ones and take advantage of the ones that I'm able to. And it's starting to be where I can't take advantage of everything. I don't have enough time, and so I'm trying to sort through things, but I do have some other good people to interview. Remember, all of my books are available at lulu.com/Lance William Green. And if you want to get a hold of me or you want to leave me a message or comment or anything, you can do that. My name is Lance William Green, and my email is lwg.corporations@gmail.com. All right? So it might take me a little bit to get back to you because I have to have someone else check that stuff for me and then tell me about it. So when I can, I will try to respond if I can. I may even address some of the emails on the podcast. I am going to start making more shorts too, so we'll see what I can come up with. I'm busy writing books. I'm doing these podcasts. I'm working on school, college stuff, and I have some inventions and I have business dealings that I need to do at the same time. So, thank you. And please tune in often for the podcast and to see my new shorts and videos and, see what I'm up to. All right. Thank you.